Football is often referred to as the beautiful game, a sport that unites people across cultures, nations, and languages. The passion for the game is unparalleled, creating lifelong bonds between fans and their favorite teams. However, this passion can sometimes take a dark turn, leading to violence, hooliganism, racism, and other unacceptable behaviors. There have been numerous instances when football fans cross the line, turning a celebration of skill and teamwork into an arena of chaos and conflict. In this article, we will explore some of the most infamous incidents, their causes, and the impact they had on football and society. The birth of football hooliganism. Football hooliganism, a term used to describe violent and unruly behavior by fans, gained notoriety in the 1960s and 1970s, particularly in England. Groups of supporters, often organized into firms, engaged in fights with rival supporters before, during, and after matches. This led to strict policing, travel bans, and even the introduction of all-seater stadiums to curb violence. One of the most infamous incidents occurred in 1985 during the European Cup final between Liverpool and Juventus at the Heysel Stadium in Belgium. Clashes between rival supporters led to a catastrophic stampede, resulting in 39 deaths and over 600 injuries. The event was a wake-up call for authorities, leading to stricter regulations and a 5-year ban on English clubs from European competitions. Many fans and football pundits still recall Heysel as a turning point in the fight against hooliganism, yet incidents of violence among fans persist today. Racism and discrimination in football. Football has long struggled with racism and discrimination, both on and off the pitch. Some fans have taken their aggression too far, directing racial abuse at players. One of the most notorious cases occurred in Spain in 2004 when FC Barcelona's Samuel Eto'o was subjected to monkey chants from opposition fans. Similarly, Italian football has faced persistent racism issues, with players like Mario Balotelli and Romelu Lukaku often being targeted. FIFA and UEFA have implemented campaigns such as Say No to Racism to combat these issues, but racist incidents continue to occur. Social media has also exacerbated the problem, with players receiving online abuse after matches. Despite efforts to educate and enforce penalties, racism remains a significant issue that taints the sport. Some leagues have taken it further, introducing point deductions for clubs whose fans repeatedly engage in racial abuse. Nonetheless, football organizations need to continue evolving their strategies to create a truly inclusive sport. The Hillsborough disaster, a tragedy of oversight and fan behavior. While not solely caused by fan behavior, the Hillsborough disaster in 1989 remains one of the darkest days in football history. During an FA Cup semi-final between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest, overcrowding in the stands led to the deaths of 97 Liverpool fans due to a human crush. The initial blame was placed on the supporters for allegedly forcing their way into the stadium, but subsequent investigations revealed that poor policing and crowd control were the main causes. The tragedy led to sweeping changes in football stadiums, including the introduction of all-seater venues and better crowd management strategies. However, it also highlighted how mismanagement and misinformation can exacerbate already tense situations. The Hillsborough disaster continues to serve as a painful reminder that safety in football stadiums must remain a priority. It also shed light on the need for transparent investigations and accountability in handling such tragedies. Football fans and political extremism. Football has often been used as a platform for political ideologies, and some fan groups have taken this to the extreme. In Serbia and Croatia, football hooliganism has been linked to nationalist movements, with fan groups actively participating in political conflicts. In 1990, a riot broke out between Dinamo Zagreb and Red Star Belgrade fans, an event seen as a precursor to the Yugoslav Wars. Similarly, in Russia and Ukraine, football ultras have been associated with far-right and extremist movements, using stadiums as arenas for expressing their ideologies. These incidents demonstrate how football can sometimes become entangled in larger societal conflicts, making it more than just a game. Political messaging at matches is strictly monitored by governing bodies, but extremist elements continue to find ways to exploit football as a means to push their agenda. This makes it critical for clubs and associations to take a firmer stance against politically motivated violence. The Istanbul Derby, a deadly rivalry. Rivalries are a core part of football, adding intensity and excitement to the sport. However, some rivalries have led to violence and even death. One of the fiercest rivalries in world football is between Galatasaray and Fenerbahce in Turkey. In 2002, Leeds United fans were stabbed to death in Istanbul before a UEFA Cup match against Galatasaray, an incident that shocked the football world. Similar incidents have occurred in other high-profile rivalries, such as Boca Juniors versus River Plate in Argentina and Rangers versus Celtic in Scotland. In these cases, the line between passion and violence is often blurred, resulting in tragic consequences. Authorities continue to struggle with controlling the aggressive behavior of ultra fans during derby matches, often deploying heavy police presence to prevent clashes. The influence of alcohol and drugs on fan behavior. One of the primary reasons behind violent fan behavior is the influence of alcohol and drugs. Many football-related riots and disturbances occur outside stadiums, where fans consume excessive amounts of alcohol before games. This leads to aggressive behavior, vandalism, and clashes with police and rival fans. To combat this issue, many football associations have imposed bans on alcohol sales inside stadiums and have implemented strict measures to prevent intoxicated fans from entering. However, enforcing these rules outside the stadium remains a challenge. The role of fan culture in excessive drinking habits remains a concern, and clubs continue to explore responsible drinking campaigns to reduce match-day incidents. Social media and the rise of online hate. With the advent of social media, football fan behavior has taken a new turn. While stadium violence may have decreased due to increased security measures, online abuse has skyrocketed. Players, referees, and even club officials face constant harassment from fans who hide behind anonymous profiles. One of the most notable cases involved England's Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, and Bukayo Saka, who were subjected to racial abuse after missing penalties in the Euro 2020 final. The outcry led to calls for stricter regulations on social media platforms to hold abusers accountable. Social media companies have been urged to introduce harsher penalties for abusive users, yet online hate remains a pressing issue. Measures to curb violent and unruly behavior. Authorities have taken several steps to mitigate fan violence and ensure football remains a safe and enjoyable experience. Some of these measures include increased security and surveillance. Stadiums now have extensive CCTV systems to monitor fan behavior. Stricter punishments. Lifetime bans, arrests, and fines for those engaging in hooliganism and racist behavior. All-seater stadiums, reducing the likelihood of crowd-related disasters. Fan education programs, encouraging respect and sportsmanship among supporters. Stronger online regulations, working with social media companies to combat cyber abuse. The need for responsible fandom. Football is more than just a sport. It is a cultural phenomenon that brings joy to millions. However, when fans cross the line, the consequences can be tragic. Whether it's hooliganism, racism, political extremism, or online abuse, these negative aspects threaten the integrity of the game. The responsibility lies with everyone, fans, clubs, governing bodies, and governments, to ensure that football remains a game of passion, not violence. The love for the game should never justify actions that harm others, and as football continues to evolve, so must the way we address and prevent unacceptable fan behavior.